nothing like some fresh air and some sunshine to clear your mind and hear God's voice out in nature. I am in Franklin area, and this is where Annie's Nashville or her Tennessee service was. And it's Easter weekend coming up, so lots of thoughts have been going through my mind, and so I'm out here clearing it, hopefully, and letting God fill it with some new thoughts and some new hope, just like spring. You can hear the birds and the sunshine. You know, God understands so much more than we think. And that's why he tells us not to lean on our own understanding, because we just try to process stuff and try to make sense of it. And there's just things we don't understand and they don't make sense. And that can drive you crazy, because we want answers, right? Even though we grow up, we still maintain that childlike curiosity, the why. I don't know if any of your kids did that, but my kids did. My son, Charlie, he was relentless with the questions. Why? So I know God understands that. And can see things more clearly, just like we can see things more clearly than our children can. So a couple things as I get ready for Easter. And I was reading about the Last Supper this morning, and the thing that struck me so hard was right off the bat is Jesus understanding what was about to happen. And that struck me because we have the blessing, if you want to call it that, of not knowing the future. What a blessing. It's only when we look back that we're filled with pain because of what we didn't know was about to happen. And here Jesus knew exactly what was about to happen. And he willingly chose to go through with it. Yeah, I thought, wow. Because when I was in the hospital with Annie, I was begging, just like Jesus was in the garden, take this cup, don't let this happen. You know, give me that miracle. And Jesus did that too. But then he said, not my will. And I remember that feeling, because I just felt hopeless and there's nothing you can do. But in that moment, God clearly spoke to me, and he said, she is not lost. Because I just felt like I was losing my girl, and I know I did on earth, but God confirmed very loud, as if a voice was right beside me, that she was not lost. And that's what I put my faith and my trust in right now to get through these times. And in that moment, it was the night before she passed. In that moment, I saw myself laying my daughter at the feet of the cross. And as I laid her down to God, God said, I know how you feel. I just surrendered my child too. And so on this Easter, I'm hoping and praying that those of us that are suffering grief that can be the loss of an idea. That can be the loss of a dream. That can be a prodigal child that is choosing at this moment to, not be a part of your life. That's a loss. That's a devastating loss. Just the grief of every ideal and every dream and the loss of loved ones, everything. Lay that down and hear God say, I totally understand and I feel it. And as humans, we surrender with stipulations, don't we? God, I'm going to surrender my will, but I want it to look like this. I want you to take my will and I want you to fulfill this dream, and I want you to please help my child do this, and please help this job go this way, and please help my spouse do this. But yet, like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, he just said, not my will, period. No stipulations. That's the hardest thing, is we to surrender and feel like we just can't control the outcome. But God controlled the outcome already. He controlled the outcome. He took that and he conquered it. And that is what I am putting my faith and my trust in today. And as we enter the Easter weekend, Good Friday, the reminder that Jesus surrendered without stipulations. So that's my prayer. I pray for any grief that you might be going through, of the loss of anything that you had in your life, or that you thought you had, or that you wanted. The end of a season, the end of a role, the end of a relationship, a job, a marriage, or a loved one. You're not alone. We are victorious because Christ is victorious. And when we surrender without stipulations, we are victorious. I hope that you have a blessed Easter.